I'm back. Ndinkim, Kakunume, Tata, Unanokofuma. I'm sorry that I haven't made any new videos in a long time. This is because I had to take time out to unlearn a few things that had already been programmed that I believe that way through, and just make changes accordingly. So today I want to talk about the woman, her powers, and basically I just want to talk about things that I've learned. You see, as a woman, your energy is the most sacred thing ever, and it's very important. That is why you must guard it with care and jealousy, because it contains the sacredness of your feminine essence. You see, one thing that I realized in the course of my research is that among indigenous religions, the woman is something very sacred. That is, I'm talking about pagan religions now. The woman is very sacred. The woman is meant to be revered. The woman is meant to be worshipped. But in the course of time, over time, even us women have forgotten that we are that important. We have forgotten that we have certain powers. We have forgotten that we're forgetting who we are. And like my people, they will say Ilia Gugani Naho. The things that make us potent, we have forgotten them. The things that make us who we are, we don't know it anymore. We don't know the things that we are supposed to know. We keep fighting the things that are not important instead of fighting for the things that are even more important. How can you fight for these things when you don't even know who you are? So over time, women have been forced to adapt, and we have been boxed that we are so scared to stand out, that we conform so much and we become who we are not. So I want to talk about us generally, how self-love is important, how we have access to certain powers if we know how to call onto these powers, if we can access it. How can you not be important? The most basic important things are made up of feminine energies, so by default you have a connection to these things. But do you know that? No. You see, over time, like I said, we have forgotten so many things and we have replaced them with new things. Now people throw the word culture and tradition at your face, but when you dig deep into your culture and your traditions, you find out that some of these things that have been thrown about are actually bogus lies made up by city people who don't know their through traditions, and it's like a bad behavior that has remained unchecked, and people have become bold to pass it off as part of their traditions. Meanwhile, when you go to core villages, they are actually laughable. Then there is still the issue of patriarchy. I'll come to that later. You see, the woman needed to be contained, the woman needed to be controlled. That was how patriarchy came about, because it is scary. A woman who truly knows herself, a woman who has her ele intact, a woman who is in tune with her sacredness and her essence is something scary, because you're powerful. How can you not be? You see, Annie, Mother Earth is the feminine energy. Anyanwu is the feminine energy. Millie, the rivers, the oceans, feminine energy. Onwa, feminine energy. And this is not the basic most powerful things ever that are reoccurring. Seasons, childbirth, fruitfulness, fertility, growth, productivity, women. Now we don't even know ourselves enough to know that this is who we are. The term virgin in ancient pagan times and in most indigenous religions means a woman that is owned by no man. Now, to be considered a virgin in modern day is a woman who knows no man. But then it was a woman who is owned by no man. Contrast. Can you understand it now? Now you needed to be contained, because a woman who is owned by no man, who controls her? Nobody. But a woman who is owned by a man, who controls her? A man. Things have changed that over the years. You see where we are now, that everybody controls the woman, tells her, no, you can't do that, no, you can't stand like that, no, shut up, you're sin, you're not heard, this, that. We have a whole bunch of rules set out for us. And the moment you begin to ask questions, the moment you try to get hold of certain freedoms for yourself, you're slut shamed, you're called names. These names are meant to box you back so that you can't fly. Now, when you understand how powerful you are, like I said, Onwa is one of the major feminine essence, that's the moon. Your period is even linked to the moon. Now, if your period actually aligns with the moon, the new moon, and the full moon, it brings about productivity, change, progress, rebirth, new beginning, and stuff. Automatically, being a woman, certain powers are lined up for you, for your taking.